Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this podcast, or video. Why I keep wanting to say podcast, I don't know. We are going to dive back into the Black Tapes, episode 7, Cabin Fever. But before we get started, just a reminder that on the weekends, I post a full episode of Welcome to Night Vale, one episode on Saturday, one episode on Sunday. And I know probably by now you've noticed that there is an American flag hanging behind me. This is kind of a test. My wife suggested doing like a tapestry or, hanging stuff to basically cover the perpetual mess that is my bookshelves. So I'm testing this off. I ordered me some tapestries, the full, they're like 60 by 40 tapestries. And what I want to do is use the have a tapestry for like doing rabbits, a tapestry for doing Black Tapes, one for doing Gen X, one, so I can have that hanging in the background, just, kind of as a mood thing, I guess. We'll see how it goes. Those should be in by the end of next week or this week. I have one that said it's going to arrive on the 24th, which is next week, I believe, because this is the week of Friday the 13th. And I think one of them may come in on Friday. That's a scary thought. Friday or Monday, I don't know. But I have been dilly-daddling and dribbling on. So let's get into this episode. Let's get into what we're here for.
I assume you two will be heading back to Los Angeles.
That's it?
We'll get in touch if we need to speak with you again.
We're not from Los Angeles. You have our cell phone numbers. We're staying at the Radisson until Sebastian shows up.
Well, let's hope he does.
Yeah, like I said in the last video, cop is this is turning out more and more to be an asshole cop.
Breakfast at the Radisson ain't what it used to be.
Dr. Strand.
Braun.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Tannis Braun. How are you doing, Richard?
Yeah, we're going back. It looks like we're gonna pull in some more of these strings, pull them out, see what we get. Maybe tie them off. Maybe there's a culmination of everything. I don't know. We just got to listen and find out. That's the exciting part of doing this with everybody together.
It was nice to meet you.
That was Tannis Braun. He is one of America's most noted psychics and parapsychologists. In the PNWS Psychic episode, Braun was brought in to demonstrate his ability to a team of researchers in a laboratory at Berkeley.
Yeah, I wonder in the real world how, I know they do. I know you got people out there that go out and debunk science, to kind of do what Strand does in this thing. But it's interesting. I just wonder if you've had any like government funded studies on it to see, but that's just just wondering, just kind of a question.
This was back in 1993 when he was a hot ticket on the talk show circuit. In this clip, he's hooked up to an EEG, or electroencephalogram sensor.
Which are interesting. They're fun to play with. I've seen the paddles they use for shocking people. I've seen, when I worked at TDC, we had a really, really talented nurse who could take those things and use them that way. You actually use them like an EKG, get a reading. It was kind of just the way you hack the machine, the settings. She'd flip the settings and just kind of hack the machine and use it kind of as an ad hoc EKG. That was interesting. Then you have an EGG. I had a nurse ask me once. We had brought an inmate and got stabbed. We were waiting on the ambulance to get there to go to a free world hospital. And she's, they're throwing out all these initials, and I went, "What about an EGG?" And she was like, "What's that?" I said, "That's an egg." But just a little funny tidbit.
A machine that measures brainwave patterns. In the room next door, there's a simple wooden pinwheel with various colors on it. The type of thing you find at the fair or in a casino. The pointer spins, randomly landing on various colors. Here he is with the researchers trying to guess which color is on the wheel.
Okay, Mr. Braun, are you ready?
Ready.
What color do you see?
Red.
Remember, Braun can't see into the other room at all. There's another researcher going in and out of the room, spinning that wheel after each guess.
And I imagine they're documenting his guesses.
There are cameras and electromagnetic wave detection sensors in the other room. Braun gets the first one right.
But is that skill or luck?
Good. How about now?
Yellow.
Very good. Now?
Green.
Impressive.
Braun was 3 for 3. This went on for 20 minutes. In the end, he got 88% of it right.
Not bad. And within their universe, that might be proof, but we'll find out.
Then, there was this.
Now.
Yellow.
Mr. Braun, do you feel like you are seeing the colors as you do with your eyes?
Yes.
How is that done in your opinion? How do you think you're able to do this?
It's easy. I'm in the room.
You're in the room?
Yes, I'm standing in front of a wheel like you see on Wheel of Fortune, but it's much smaller. Maybe the size of a large party tray.
Interesting. This harkens back to episode 6. Curiouser and curiouser we go.
There appears to be some kind of small electronic device to the right of it.
Yes, that's our EMF sensor.
Fancy.
Mr. Braun,
Yes.
do you actually feel yourself in the room? Physically?
Yes.
Do you?
That is interesting. Interesting. That seems to be my favorite word with this particular listen along. So yeah, it's just kind of, and it's tying into episode 6. It's great.
Think you can move anything in there? Don't exert yourself. Just relax and concentrate.
Foreboding music.
My God.
Yeah, it moved. It was fascinating. I asked Strand about it later that night when we met in his hotel room to discuss the case.
He's a fraud.
Boom, just straight out the gate.
He seems harmless enough.
That's the gift of the charlatan. They ease you into a sense of trust, take your eyes off the manipulation. It's what magicians call misdirection.
He's faking it?
Yes.
You know, the police brought him in to help find Sebastian.
They also brought him in to find D.B. Cooper.
D.B. Cooper. Now that is a historical thing to you know, that the D.B. Cooper robbery that's one of the ones that fascinates me. It's one of the 20th century's great, unknowns. Did he die when he jumped out of the plane, or did he live? Did he live happily ever after? We'll never know.
Tanis Braun has been employed by police forces all over California and Oregon to assist in missing persons cases. In the last 15 years, he claims, and these claims are often backed up by the various law enforcement agencies of record, that he has successfully helped locate more than a dozen missing people.
But with the number of people that go missing each day, is that really good numbers if you think about it? If he's a psychic? I mean, just wondering.
Why would the police call him in if he didn't actually help in some way?
Tanis Braun is actually an outstanding detective.
That's it? An outstanding detective?
He claims he's had this so-called gift his entire life, and yet it wasn't until the late 90s that he found any success tracking down missing persons.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
So he's a late bloomer.
And then there's the internet.
You think he's just using the internet to find these people?
The information superhighway became super at precisely the same time Braun became successful.
Interesting. There's that word again. Curious. We'll try and use curious for a while.
Personal information was being encoded and uploaded in bulk. Laymen had access to information that was previously unobtainable.
I suppose, but...
But what?
Well, there was this experiment done at Berkeley where Tanis Braun was in this room.
The one with the colored wheel?
Yes.
In the world of paranormal research, they call that bilocation, the ability to be in two places at once.
Interesting. Not interesting. Curious. Curiouser.
Okay, so how is Braun faking it?
Have you heard of the Braun Institute for Higher Learning?
No.
The Braun. I've played around with some of that, and it's an actual thing. And they are nut jobs. Google it.
It's his foundation. It's a non-profit, but an unauthorized consumer report revealed they make a lot of money from celebrities. Take a look at his client list. It's impressive how many famous people fall for this.
But what does any of this have
His
to do?
foundation funded that experiment.
Really?
Well, not directly, but they support the American Institute for Psychic Research, and they conducted that experiment.
So you think they lied?
Let's say I'm not sure their controls were as tightly monitored as they should have been.
They stacked the deck, in other words. And we'll go ahead and call this good here. Remember, be a good human. Be good to other humans. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?